Dear students, in this video, we will learn about the Ruby laser. Ruby laser is basically a solid laser, and we will use Ruby material in the form of a main material in Ruby laser. Ruby rod is basically a combination of aluminum oxide and chromium oxide, and to make this Ruby rod, and chromium oxide is doped in the aluminum oxide, and this Ruby laser is first time successfully made in 1960. In Ruby rod, we use 99.5% aluminum oxide and 0.05% chromium oxide, and that's why in this rod 99.5% aluminum ions are available and 0.05% are chromium ion are available in this rod, and chromium ions are responsible to produce the Ruby laser, and these chromium ions are known as active ions and the aluminum ions are known as passive ion.
To construct the Ruby laser, we use a cylindrical Ruby rod, and length of that cylindrical rod may be 2 cm to 30 cm, and diameter of Ruby rod may be 0.5 cm to 2 cm. To construct Ruby laser, we require 3 components. One component is Ruby medium, second component is pump source, means energy source, and third component is optical resonator. We require a cylindrical Ruby rod for Ruby laser, in which this surface, this end of this rod is coated by the fully silvered material, and this end is coated by a partially silvered surface, and these are the just like tube that is known as xenon flash lamp, and xenon gas is filled in this xenon flash lamp, and we will provide power supply to by the help of power supply we will provide energy in this xenon flash lamp, and this flash lamp provide flashing, and energy are gained by this lamp, and chromium ion absorb this energy, and wavelength of the photon of which is flashing by this flash lamp is 5500 angstrom, and we will get photons of Ruby laser by this side, and the wavelength of these photons are 6943 angstrom, and this is actually Ruby laser beam. And chromium ions which are available in Ruby rod are getting energy from the xenon flash lamp and become excited. When the chromium ion absorb the energy, if they absorb this photon, then they excite from normal level to this level, and if they absorb this photon, then they excite from this level to this level, and after that this is exciting level, and lifetime of this exciting level is 10 to the power minus 8 seconds. After 10 to the power minus 8 seconds, chromium ions have to back to its normal state, and these are the transition from the exciting level to this level, and this is actually radiation less transition, and this is known as metastable state, and actual process first process in ruby laser is, after absorbing these photons, chromium ion excited or transited from low energy level to high energy level, and from exciting level they come back to this level, and the lifetime of this level is 10 to the power 5 times more than the exciting level. Lifetime of this exciting level is 10 to the power minus 8 seconds, and the lifetime of this level is 10 to the power minus 3 seconds. It means chromium ion can survive in this level 10 to the power 5 times more than this level, and this level or this state is also known as metastable state. And after that, these chromium ions transit or jumped from metastable level to original level or normal level, and energy difference of this energy level and this energy level is 1.79 electron volt. If we calculate the wavelength by the formula E is equal to hc upon lambda, we can calculate the wavelength of these emitted photons, and if we calculate it is 694.3 nanometer or 6943 angstrom. So this is complete energy level diagram of ruby laser, in which we have shown that the radiation which we receive from flashing light is 5500 angstrom, and these chromium ions, after absorbing these photons, are excited from this level, and they jump from this level to this level, and during this transition, this is radiation less transition, we are not receiving any type of radiation of photons, and after this metastable state, the chromium ions are transited from normal level and they emit photons of 6943 angstrom. So when chromium ions are available at this level, spontaneously it is transited from this level to this level and emitted this photon. It means this photon is obtained due to the spontaneous emission, and due to the effect of this photon, stimulated emission is occurred. As we have already discussed in our previous video, that under the effect of photon, stimulated emission is occurred, and chromium ions are transited from this level to this level, and two photons of 6943 angstrom are emitted. This is due to stimulated emission, and it represents the amplified signal, and it actually represents the light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. This is laser, and as we obtain this laser by the help of ruby material, that's why it is known as ruby laser of 6943 angstrom. So it is the explanation of energy level diagram of ruby laser, and now we will discuss about the drawback of ruby laser. These all are energy level diagrams. This is explanation of energy level diagram, and now drawbacks of ruby laser. First drawback of ruby laser is that ruby laser is required high power to excite the chromium ion from low energy level to high energy level. This is first drawback of the ruby laser. And second drawback is the efficiency of ruby laser is very low in comparison to the another laser. Third, we cannot obtain radiation from continuous radiation from the ruby laser. It is a pulse laser. We can obtain the radiation in the form of pulse. However, the time of pulse is only in microsecond duration. And the fourth drawback is the defects due to the crystalline imperfection. As we know that in ruby laser we require ruby rod that is in the form of crystal, and due to the crystalline imperfection there may be some defects. These are the drawbacks of ruby laser. And now applications of the ruby laser. Ruby laser have decline in use of discovery of better larger media. In holography we generally use the ruby laser due to its red color color of ruby laser radiation is red, and in general we use it in holography. And next, many non-deductive testing labs use ruby lasers to create holograms of large objects such as aircrafts, tires, etc. And ruby lasers were also used extensively in making the tattoo and for hair removal. These are the applications of ruby lasers. So this is the explanation in which we discussed about the introduction of ruby laser, construction of ruby laser, working, drawbacks and applications of ruby lasers.
This is the total explanation of ruby laser, and in next video we will discuss about the helium neon laser. Thank you.